Tamil Nadu called off the 40-day strike in New Delhi. That was part of their efforts to get the central government help in surviving the drought. But several opposition parties in the state have turned the drought into a political hot potato. And as the political drama plays out, farmer deaths are on the rise. CNBC TV 18 Jude Sannith travelled to drought-hit Tiruvarur district in Tamil Nadu to get a sense of ground realities.
32-year-old Arokya Mary works 2 jobs to support her family of 6. This includes 3 children, 2 of whom are girls aged 15 and 17. Her husband, Aragasan, died of a heart attack in December while working in the fields. His death is one of the 27 farmer deaths reported in Tiruvarur district in the last 6 months. Mary says Aragasan's death was brought about by worry that his crop had failed and that he would not be able to repay an 80,000 rupee crop loan.
When we returned home and couldn't find my husband, our neighbors told us that he hadn't returned from the fields. Later, villagers brought his body back home and said that they had found him lying in the field.
In February, the Tamil Nadu government sanctioned 2,247 crore rupees towards drought relief. This has been used to compensate farmers for crop losses. From these funds, families of 19 farmers who have died in Tiruvarur have also received 3 lakh rupees each. But this financial aid has not been enough. Data released by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research in January shows that the 2016-2017 Rabi season saw land under paddy cultivation in Tamil Nadu fall to 7.18 lakh hectares from 11.82 lakh hectares the previous year. That's a drop of 39%. Understandable, since paddy is a water-intensive crop. State government sources add that Tiruvarur saw just 1.5 lakh hectares of land being used for paddy cultivation against the previous year's 3.5 lakh hectares. As a means of getting around the drought, the region's farmers have also changed their farming practices. While a large number of these farmers have almost completely shifted to cotton cultivation, the staple paddy cultivation here is done only with the assistance of bore wells like this that help supply water to these drought-hit lands. It's not that the centre has not tried to help. Just last month, the central government approved a 2014 crore rupee package towards drought relief in Tamil Nadu. But this is a far cry from the 39,000 crore rupees that the state government had asked for. So while this money will go towards crop loss compensation and offsetting cooperative farm loan waivers, policymakers say it won't be enough to overhaul infrastructure, especially in constituencies like Manargudi, which has 150 wards affected by drought. Presently, projects like desilting are carried out in Manargudi through constituency funds, which stand at just 1.5 crore rupees.
If you put together, it's about 135, about 150 points, if you could say. So if you split that 150 by 150, you get about 1 lakh per point, which would have about 1,500 people. For a mini tank, I need about 2.5 lakhs. How do you think I'm going to do this for the whole constituency?
It's not just the farmers who are struggling with what has become Tamil Nadu's worst drought in 140 years. The district's agro-dependent economy has also ground to a halt. At this fertilizer shop, for instance, business has halved, and Anbu, the proprietor, says his present turnover barely covers procurement and labor costs.
3
years ago, when fertilizer prices were low, our turnover was up to 2 crore rupees. In the last 1 year, we found it hard to cross even 1 crore per year, even after the fertilizer prices have risen.
The farmers have called off their 40-day strike in New Delhi, calling for aid. But the situation has turned into a political talking point at the state level because the state government, which is already running a revenue deficit of nearly 16,000 crore rupees, can't do much more. That is, of course, of no help to the farmers who have to walk through barren fields every day. And with the centre unwilling to part with any more money, more drought relief measures from any quarter seem unlikely. From Tiruvarur in Tamil Nadu, Jude Sannith.